Yo. MNTC Radio, the station designed to keep you in mind. It's your man, Mr. Music.
What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Move.
It actually worked smooth this time with logging in from my phone.
Yeah, I noticed it's easier for me to log in on the iPhone than anything else.
But that last meeting we had with the recording studio, or the TV studio, like I don't know how they set their stuff up, but it was super strenuous to get logged in.
Hold on 1 second. Which TV studio?
The one in Northeast.
Oh, okay, that's Zoom. That's what you're talking about. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, that shit was some I think that was a Zoom joint they was doing. They got some other shit like what celebrities call it. They can do it via whatchamacallit, via calling into a phone number, and they have like some type of technology or program for it.
Yeah.
Oh, some shit. Just waiting for him to log on here.
Oh man. Kind of, sort of. All these changing the schedules, messing up my workout times. I was gonna go to the gym and get a quick little workout in, but now I gotta wait till after this. But I've been kind of like slacking a little bit. I've been hooping. I didn't pull one of your moves and been hooping a lot. So we've been playing in our league on Wednesdays, but then we hoop at Roseville High School on Sunday mornings, and now
we finna start hooking. 1 second, bro.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, brother, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. So I need to turn my camera on, or is this just vocal?
Yeah, turn your camera on if you don't mind.
No problem. Not at all. I need a background, or is it okay if I walk around?
You good how you was. How you feeling today? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm great, bro. I'm great. I appreciate it.
No problem.
How y'all doing?
You want to sit down, or you go how you was?
No, yeah, I'm walking to a quiet space right now.
All right, cool.
A lot going on in my office.
No doubt.
That's a good thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gotcha. How y'all doing?
We doing good, brother. How you feeling, man?
Man, I can't complain, bro. Just, grinding away, chipping away, whatever I can.
I'm with it. So my name is Ethan Horse. You can call me Mr. Music. My co-host is Dante Coleman, aka DJ Inferno, with the Power Hour MNTC Radio, also played with iHeartRadio and the TV station out here, MCN6. And I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and then DJ Inferno's gonna go from there. All right, brother?
Yes, sir.
No doubt. So how's everybody doing out there? It's your man, Mr. Music. You're not tuned into the Power Hour show right here on MNTC Radio, associated with Plug XL. We got a special guest today. It's my man, Chaka Zulu. How you feeling, my man?
I'm good, brother. Pleasure to be here. Appreciate you having me on the show, and I'm blessed.
Hey, man, I definitely appreciate you being here. Now, right now, you are the head of artists and talent relations at Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? For people, when we think about Spotify, we think about streaming, we think about that almost sounds like some other type of place. What does that exactly mean?
Well, it's one of the many hats that I actually wear and have worn. But it basically means I'm artist facing and artist minded, right? So in artist relations, we're always looking at how to engage and impact artists in an authentic way in their voice where it benefits artists, as well as whatever business that we're in. So it doesn't matter what company you're with, whether you're with a Spotify, whether you're with any other company. If you have an artist relations department, that's what you do, or what you should be doing. But yeah, so that's what that position was about.
So what people and these artists right now, because they're all into Spotify, Apple Music, what would you say, especially you being in the game for a very long time, what would you say is the best way somebody could utilize a Spotify streaming platform?
The biggest thing with anything is engagement. Any platform or anything, it's like you have to create a community and a buzz and conversation around what you're doing. So if you're on social media, if you're on Twitter, whatever that community engagement is, if you're on Instagram, TikTok, any of those platforms. So you have to look at the music platforms as that. They have a large subscriber base, and you have to figure out how to engage that subscriber base to benefit yourself, which is to stream and pay attention to your music.
I appreciate that. Now, before I hand it over to DJ Inferno, I got to take it back a little bit for you, bro. You've done radio before. You've worked at Universal. You worked with Def Jam. A lot of people don't know you work with 2 Chainz behind the scene. You've worked with CeeLo. You worked with T.I.'s manager before. It's a lot you got going on. What I like about you, you move kind of quiet, it seems like, compared to other moguls. But I want to take it back, though. I want to take it back. Let's take it back to October 17, 2000. All right?
Okay.
Remember that?
Yes,
for the first time. I want you to vibe with me for a second, right? What was it like when you got that phone call that y'all sold over 133K for that first week? What was it like? Where was you at? What's going through your head?
Well, obviously we didn't know what it was, right? There were artists that were selling bigger numbers at the time. And having just inked a deal with Def Jam, we were coming from an independent situation. When we were independent, we sold 50,000 units by ourselves. And the Back for the First Time album, we only added like 3 new records. right? Throw Them Bows being one of those records, which was the second single of that. So for us to go through that, sell that, and then sell 133,000, we felt accomplished, but we felt like there was more work to do. And honestly, Def Jam had told us we probably would only sell on that album 300,000 units.
And it went 3 times platinum as of right now. It's like over 3 times platinum.
Yeah, it sold 3 million. The first album sold over 3 million. And so when it sold that number, and then it dropped a little bit, but then it stayed around 60, 70,000, and then went back up to 100 something thousand for a long time. Yeah, it was something that just, we were thrown off. But to all of that to say, it was a blessing. We were excited about just being in the game on a major level, on a major label with Def Jam and the likes of a Jay-Z, Rough Riders, Rockefeller, Murder Inc., Redman, Method Man, everything that was going on at Def Jam at the time. So it was really exciting.
I definitely appreciate that. You know, I look up to a lot of y'all that's in the game, so I like hearing y'all moments that y'all really experience, especially with people haven't heard. We don't hear from you too much, but you be making the behind the scene moves, you know what I mean? But we hear about it later. But I appreciate your time, my man. I'm gonna pass it over to DJ Inferno right now.
No, all love. Appreciate you.
All love.
Man, you stole one of my questions. That's what I was about to ask, that boy. But now, you know, it's everything that I think of when I hear your name. You know, you definitely the DTP and Ludacris and things of that nature. But also, I don't know if you really realize that your name is synonymous with the whole DJ mixtape era. Like, I feel like a lot that was going on at the time when the South was really, well, they're still on top, that the South, it's the mixtape game, really helped push the South to where it is now. And so now my question is, with you being, you know, affiliated and connected to Spotify now with artist relations, is there anything in the works for one to now start considering DJs as actual artists, but also getting to the point to where, you know, like me as a DJ, like the mixtape game is practically dead money wise. So if we're making mixtapes, physical mixtapes, or putting them on flash drives or whatever, it's just strictly for the love. But now it's to the point to where, is it ever going to be a possibility where we can take that same concept and apply it to a Spotify, for example, to where we can do, just imagine like a Gangsta Grills on Spotify.
Yeah. Nah, what all that is those are the playlists. That's the new playlist. So, you know, there was a number of different iterations of mixtapes. You know, like obviously you had your Kid Capri's and your Clues and your K Slays and all of them. And then, you know, Drama and Canon and Sense, the affiliates took it to a whole nother level, right? And that was at a time where the music industry didn't know, the A&Rs didn't know what records were what, and they didn't know how to brand, and they weren't. It was a lot in the timing of those mixtapes and what they meant in the spaces that they were. But right now, the new mixtape is playlists and independent playlists, right? You can create a playlist tomorrow and put it on Spotify. It won't be it won't be a curated one, but you can create a playlist based upon your sensibility and your ear, and then you can drive people to listen and support that playlist. You know what I'm saying? And develop and discover artists the way that you want. You know what I mean? So it's still valid. It's just a different format.
Yeah. So to add to that question, so now, just like you brung up the curated playlist, and naturally the Spotify curated playlists are going to get most of the attention because of the promotion and marketing and branding that they get behind that on Spotify. So what would be your advice to either for a DJ to either, one, get more visibility on their playlist, or two, become a curator for Spotify? So like, for example, I'm big in the Midwest and a little bit in places down south. So let's say if I wanted to be the official Spotify curator, or one of them, to say, hey, this is all the new hot music coming out of the Midwest. If you want to hear this is the playlist that you go to. Like, how do DJs go about doing it, or even artists to even submit their music to get on said playlist?
Well, artists is very simple. They have the pitch tool and the Spotify for artists aspect, and obviously whoever their distribution network is also will position them for consideration for playlists. It's no cheat code for playlists. It's
Yeah.
there's thousands and thousands of records that editors go through every day. And some of it is going to be stuff that they like, and some of it's going to be stuff that they have to educate and learn about, or they're going to watch it, and as it grows, then they'll put it in a position for it to be exposed. And there's thousands of playlists on any given platform. What people need to do as somebody who's a DJ who might be a curator of sound is stay attached to what we consider the culture. The culture will determine who rises with it. You know what I'm saying? If DJ Drama and them didn't do Gangsta Grill and do what they did, they wouldn't have been elevated when those artists were elevated. They were attaching themselves and working and moving and helping artists that nobody else was helping. So when those artists became big, they immediately was like, well, DJ Drama was the one to help. So if you're in the Midwest and you're out there and you're curating the culture and you're making a playlist, independent or curated, and then you're doing shows and you're doing that, when that culture rises, you'll rise. And how you get to being a curated playlist is you just have to do the same thing that you do on social media. Build a following in the audience and some some authenticity, and Spotify will come knocking on your door, or Apple or Pandora, whoever will come knocking on your door. There's a lot of people who either from the culture, whether they street promoters, club promoters, street DJs, club DJs, or from radio, have transitioned into becoming editors and playlist folks. So there's a number of ways to do it.
Great. That's definitely good info. And I always like to ask those type of questions because as you just stated, there's so many different ways to break into that realm. But other than that, for my last question, even though you've done a lot for several different record labels and several different artists, and it seems like you're attached and tied in more to the South because that's where the bulk of your work has been done. It's at least that's the visibility of it. How do you feel about the direction that the South music and Atlanta music and the sound and where it's going? How do you feel about where it's going now, and where do you think it's going to go within like the next 5 years?
I mean, obviously, I celebrate where it's going, and in any format. I have a music background. My family was in music, so I understand that music goes in cycles, and what the South is doing is not totally different than what any other coast or region has done with music when they had control over it. It's just the one difference about the South is that there's so many versions and perspectives that once you think that you figured Southern music out, there's a new iteration of it, right? And they're very music based, right? And now you're either getting culture or you're getting music. And sometimes you get both, right? So when you first experienced Outkast, you were experiencing the culture of the South. And then the bigger that they got, you started like, yo, these dudes are real musicians, like the musicology and how they're stretching themselves and the things that they're doing. So, there's so many levels of discovery with Southern music. And I just feel like that's because, one, they have so many various stories, and it's been such a long time, and the South is big. It's a region, but the New Orleans Southern music is different than Texas Southern music, which is different than Mississippi Southern music, than Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, right? So, or Tennessee. So as soon as you think, it's just the South is really grouped in. New York was New York. It didn't matter if it was from Brooklyn, Manhattan, Harlem, whatever, it was New York. And you know what I'm saying? And so when people wanted to hear a different version, they went to the West Coast, right? And California is so vast, but LA was the main sound. We just now getting into the Bay Area music. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really touched up on Seattle. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't really got into all of the different variations of music out there. So it's just the way that people consume music. Even the Midwest, Chicago is one of the main hubs. We ain't really got really, really deep into Detroit yet. We ain't really got, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many things so a lot of stories still left to be told. So that's why the South is able to reinvent itself. And then from the perspective of, you know, being a part of this and loving what happens, like music and our culture is ever changing. And, you know, it'll be because of or in spite of. One thing we're inspired. So, you know, I remember when down south used to be inspired strictly by everything that happened in New York or the East Coast. And then they came up with their version of that, and vice versa. And, you know, or the West Coast. So everybody had their version. So when somebody has the ball, they're influencing the next generation of, and then there'll be a new version of that, a new presentation of that art at some later point. And so that's just why it's an ever moving currency. And we got to kind of embrace it for what it is.
Definitely, definitely. And I appreciate definitely you taking out the time and talking to us. And it's always good to talk to someone that is a, you know, I don't want to say your industry, but you're within the industry, but you actually talk with passion still, and you've been doing it for so long. A lot of people, you don't hear it in their voice. Like you can still hear it in your voice. You still, to me, you still got the same voice as when, you know, Back for the First Time dropped. You know what I'm saying? You still got the when you first met Luda, you know, it's like you still have that energy, and that's tough to come by. So I definitely appreciate the jewels you dropped on us and the time you took out to talk to us. And me and Mr. Music Man definitely appreciate the time. So that's all I have for you today, man.
No, I appreciate it wholeheartedly. I am still passionate about it. Like I said, music is my life. There's a number of things that has been my upbringing in my life that I bring to my everyday existence. So for those who are listening and those who want to, you know, do similar things that all three of us are doing, I tell people to show up, bring yourself to what it is you do, and you'll stay passionate about it because you'll be passionate about yourself, you know, and everything from fashion. If you're a sneakerhead, you're a sneakerhead. If you're a fashion person, you know what I'm saying, you love fashion. If you love the streets and people, you love people. If you love chess, you love chess. Whatever it is you got to do, like you bring that to the game and that perspective, and you walk your path, you know. So to both of you guys' point, I don't, you know, seek the limelight and things like that. I just love to do what I do, and I love to help people, and I love to be an inspiration or leave some type of trail of breadcrumbs for people to follow who don't necessarily want to go traditional paths or maybe want to be in front of camera. And the same thing, I got that from Russell Simmons. I got that from L.A. Reid. I got that from Kevin Loud. I got that from Quincy Jones. I got that from Clarence Avant. I got that from a number of people, you know what I mean? That, you know, I still access to this day. You know what I'm saying? So we all need examples that, you know, we don't have to just do it one way. You know, everybody can't be, you know, Puff. Everybody can't be Irv Gotti. Everybody can't. I'm not that type of executive. You know what I'm saying? Respect to what they do. I just like to let the artist be the artist and do the work. You know what I mean?
Definitely appreciate it. You got
Definitely
anything else to say,
well,
Mr.
bro.
Music?
Is my thing going? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Now, Shaka, can you do me a favor, but before you go, you mind giving us a short drop saying this is Shaka Zulu of DTP. You now tuned in with the Plug Excel.
Plug Excel. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me know when you're ready.
Whenever you're ready, boss.
3, 2, 1. What's up, y'all? This is Chaka Zulu. You're now tuned in to Plug Excel with my guys. Stay tuned.
Appreciate it, my man.
No doubt.
Sir, appreciate it.
Thank y'all, man. Talk soon.
Yeah, we're gonna cut it up. We'll send it to your publicist, but man, appreciate you, bro. God bless.
Listen. All right.